Hey folks, good to be with you today. Yesterday we were talking about what it means to fail the test at the point of temptation. Today I want to take that to another level. Remember at the beginning of the series I used an analogy that this series or this particular aspect of what we're talking about is lessons I learned from the instruction manual. And I think there are many of us old dinosaurs amongst us who are not very good technology. And some little kid will come along and say, "Oh, let me help you." And I'm saying, "I got this thing." And the kid will take one look at the instruction manual and say, "Hey, listen, you're doing it wrong. This is how you meant to do it." And then he does it right, and it works, man. It works. And I'm embarrassed. And yeah, I sometimes think, life is like that. It just doesn't work sometimes. We mess it up. We don't do well. And I wonder sometimes if we shouldn't do what the kids suggest, is just read the instruction manual. Because the instruction manual will help you incredibly. We have an instruction manual. The Bible is the greatest instruction manual you'll ever find for life. In it, the books of Proverbs and Ecclesiastes are called the wisdom literature section. There's so much wisdom. If you need wisdom, read the book and apply those principles to your life and just wait and see what happens. But today I want to take you to the most well-spoken of temptation that ever took place. We know the Garden of Eden was a big deal one, but Jesus in Matthew chapter 7 faced terrible temptation on the mount that they called temptation. And Jesus went up there after his baptism to fast and to prove his humanity. And in front of the world, in a sense, now Satan came to tempt him. And he said to Jesus, 40 days, a long time, no food. Why don't you turn that bread into food and you can eat it? And Satan tempted Jesus at the point of what he needed, or at the point of what he wanted. And when we look at this, I want food, I need this, it's a beginning of a test that is about to follow. I want it. Do I really need it? No, I don't care if I need it. I really want it. And so Jesus addressed that by saying to Satan, I'm just going to apply the instruction books to you here, Satan. In the instruction book, it says this. It says, don't lead the Lord your God to a foolish test, because in this instruction book, which is my manual, it says, I'm not going to negotiate with you. Take your toys and hike. And Satan did exactly that. Next day, he comes back again with another temptation. And he says to Jesus, I'm going to take you and put you on the pinnacle of the outside the temple. And Jesus, you need to get some followers. The best way to get followers is to do something spectacular. Jesus, I dare you. Jesus, I dare you. Jump off here. The angels will come. They'll swoop you up. Man, you're going to get some serious followers. You're going to have a bunch of fans by the end of the day. And Jesus would have smiled and said, have you not read the book, Satan? The book says, don't put me to the foolish test again. And Satan ran. And then the third one was the point of I deserve this. The first one was I want this, or I need this, apparently. The second one was the temptation of I need to win. I'll win. I'll win by showing that I'm the best. I'll win at showing that I am the Son of God, and I'll jump off the temple. But the third one was even more subtle, was I deserve. When Satan came to Jesus and said, Jesus, I'll give you all the world. Everything that you can see, put him on the top of a high mountain and said, it's yours. And Jesus must have looked at him a bit squiff and said, but it's already mine. I deserve you to get out of my life, and you have to remind me that what I have is mine. Get out of here, Satan. It is written. You see, the simple application of the information is all that is needed. If you don't have the information to deal with the temptation, that's your fault, because God has given it to you, the instruction manual. Read it. Read it with the eye to see who failed in this department and why did they fail. Why did Job pass? Because he went through terrible trials. If I was Job, I'd be thinking God had abandoned me. God didn't exist. I'd be thinking that. But instead, Job is drawing into God, not pushing away from God, because the trial would have said, the test will suggest you're going to reject God, and he did not reject God because he knew that God was who he said he was. And as a result, that test never became a temptation. And he passed. Tick, Job, well done. Have a look at King Saul. He failed. Along came David, and David was doing really well in battle. And the woman of the town thought that David was awesome, and Saul became jealous. And at the point of David's success, Paul's attitude was, I hate this. I hate this. I deserve those accolades. And he failed the test. Lost his kingdom, lost his joy, lost his peace, and messed up his entire calling because he failed the temptation. So people, listen carefully. We all go through these things. Not one of us is not being tested at some stage, probably many times a day. Don't you want to just try it and live like this? When you have trials, when you have things that come across your way, pass the test and never let it fall into a temptation that leads you to act upon something that is an attitudinal thing about what you think about God. I really hope that makes sense. I really hope. But you're going to have a good day. Bye.